At 2:47 a.m. radar operators in 3 different airports saw the same thing appear on their screens. A single aircraft. No call sign, no transponder, no flight plan. It appeared suddenly at 38,000 feet, moving at over 500 miles per hour. But when controllers tried to contact the pilot, there was no response, and then someone noticed something even stranger. The aircraft wasn't just on one radar, it was showing up everywhere. Controllers in Atlanta, Memphis, and Jacksonville all reported the same radar contact. The coordinates were identical. Altitude, 38,000 feet. Speed, 512 miles per hour. But the FAA database showed something impossible. There were no aircraft anywhere near that location, and when controllers aimed secondary radar systems at the signal, they got nothing back, just the blip, moving slowly across the eastern United States. The controllers assumed it was a transponder failure. That happens sometimes. So they began broadcasting on emergency frequencies. Unidentified aircraft, this is Atlanta Center. Identify yourself immediately. Silence. They tried again. Still nothing. But the radar contact kept moving. Steady. Precise. Almost like it was following a flight route. Then something happened that made the controllers uneasy. The mysterious aircraft began passing directly over major airports. Atlanta, Birmingham, Nashville. Normally, a plane flying that route would trigger collision alerts. But the system showed something strange. The aircraft was there. Yet somehow it wasn't interacting with any other aircraft in the system. Almost like the radar was seeing something that wasn't physically there. One controller decided to check the radar recording history. He rewound the system by several minutes. And that's when things got strange. Because the aircraft hadn't appeared suddenly, it had been there the entire time. The radar system simply hadn't shown it until 2:47 a.m. But the deeper they looked, the stranger it got. The radar track showed the aircraft had been travelling for nearly 3 hours, from somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, heading inland, following a route that looked almost identical to a commercial flight path. But no airline reported a missing aircraft, and no military aircraft were operating in the area. At 2:58 a.m, the unidentified aircraft reached Tennessee airspace. Controllers prepared to scramble military intercepts. But before any jets could be launched, the radar contact suddenly slowed from 512 miles per hour to 0 instantly at 38,000 feet. For nearly 2 minutes, the aircraft remained motionless, hovering at cruise altitude. No aircraft can do that. Not commercial, not military, not even experimental. Then the radar operator noticed something else. The altitude number began changing. The aircraft began climbing. Slowly at first, then faster. 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet, 60,000 feet. Controllers watched the radar screen in disbelief. Commercial aircraft can't fly that high. Neither can most military jets. But the climb kept going. Then the altitude indicator jumped again, 75,000 feet, then 90,000 feet. The climb happened in less than 4 seconds, and then the radar contact vanished. Just like that. The FAA quietly archived the radar logs. The event was labelled a system anomaly. Case closed. Until 3 days later, when a retired radar engineer reviewed the recording and noticed something no one else had seen. The mysterious aircraft's flight path matched exactly with the route of Flight 739, a military transport plane that disappeared in 1962 over the Pacific Ocean, with 107 people on board. The aircraft was never found, but according to radar logs, for 11 minutes that night, it might have come back.